Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video I will show you how to combine two indicators into one with MQL5. So this feature is pretty popular with TradingView because if you are using TradingView, then it's possible for you to basically combine, for example, two oscillators into one. So in this example you can see that I have RSI and stochastic. So both of them are oscillators, so they are basically on the same chart with the same scale. And what I am allowed to do on TradingView is that I can just take this indicator, drop it here on RSI, and then it basically combines together. So this feature is something that I like a lot because it just makes analyzing indicators more simple for you. So when you have, for example, 5 indicators on one chart, it can be pretty difficult to analyze them all at once, but doing something like this can help you in a big way. So I will show you basically how to do this in MT5 because I don't think it's possible, or maybe it is, and in that case this video is useless, but I will show you nevertheless. Okay, so let's go back here and let's start. So for this example, I will choose RSI and stochastic indicators. First of all, it will be simple to demonstrate this on these indicators. And second of all, in order for this to work, the indicators you are about to combine basically have to be on the same scale. Okay, so let me just explain what I mean by this. So for example, if you are using, so let's check RSI and let's check stochastic. Where is it? Oscillator, stochastic, and let's also check one more oscillator, for example, MACD. Okay, so what I mean by the same scale. So here, let me just span this out like this. Okay, so here you can see that these values on the right side of the indicator basically show you the scale of the indicator. So with RSI, it's from 0 to 100. With stochastic, it's also from 0 to 100, so it's on the same scale. But for example, for something like MACD, you can see that this is in points. Sorry, not in points, but in actual, it's like, I don't know how to call this, but it's just this, it's not the same scale. So you can't combine, or you can, but it will be more difficult to combine MACD, for example, with RSI, because it's more difficult to convert it to the same scale. So that's the reason why I will demonstrate this on RSI and stochastic indicators. Okay, so yeah, let's get to it. So the process is pretty simple, but you have to be very aware of basically all of the dependencies of each of those indicators. Okay, so I will just open my indicators folder right here, my YouTube folder, and I will create a new file, custom indicator, and let's call this RSI stochastic. So now there are some parameters. I'm not sure if I should declare them right now or just wait and declare them inside my... I think I will wait for now. Okay, so let's click on next, and yeah, so here you have to click on indicator in separate window and fix the minimum and maximum. So as I said before, it's the same scale. So maximum is 100, minimum value is 0. So this is basically setting your scale value. So this is the minimum scale value, this is the maximum scale value. And then regarding the plots, I think we will need 3 plots, okay? Because one plot is for RSI, so RSI plot, or let's say just RSI line. And let's change the color to, I don't know, deep sky blue. Let's try this. Then you need 2 more, because for stochastic you basically have the signal line and then the second line, I don't know what's it called, but basically for stochastic indicator you have 2 lines. So stochastic Let me just check here to know. So this is stochastic. Let me just check here so is it, yeah, it's the main line and the signal line. Perfect. So let's go back here and let's call this stochastic main and stochastic signal. Perfect. And I don't know, the main can be white and the signal can be red. So let's try this, and if it doesn't look nice, I can change it later. So just check the option. So it's font 18, so this should be okay. Okay, so let's start. So the process is pretty simple. Yeah, what you basically need to do is that you need to first of all create two handles. And these two handles will be for each of those indicators. So one handle for RSI indicator, the second handle for stochastic indicator, and then you basically use these handles right here on a calculate function, where you basically access the right indicator values and you just store them inside your indicator buffers. Yeah, so that's basically the whole process of this. Okay, so let's do. So RSI handle and stochastic handle. So yeah, so before we can basically assign an indicator to the handle, we first of all, or before we do that, we have to create input variables for the indicator input values, because for stochastic, basically 3 values go inside it. So it's that K, D, and slowing period, I guess. This is yeah, K period, D period, and slowing period. And for RSI, there's only one value, and that's the period. So let's just go here and let's create input segments for each of these indicators. So input group, let's call this RSI settings. And let's just say input integer RSI period, which will be equal to 14. And then create group for stochastic settings. And here it's input integer K period, which is 5. Input integer, D period, which is 3, and then input integer slowing period, which is also 3. Perfect. So this is all we need. Let me just span this out a bit so we can see any errors, and there are none errors. Okay, so perfect. So let's continue. So now on init function, we just say so RSI handle will be equal to IRSI for the current symbol, current period, and RSI period, and price. Let's go with price close. Of course, I could do this as an input, but I think we can go with closing price. And now stochastic handle is equal to I stochastics symbol period, and now K period, D period, slowing period, mode, let's go with simple moving average, and stochastic close. Yeah, if you don't like these parameters, basically you can change them for yourself, but I think it's not important for this video. Good. So now all we have to do is that we have to, first of all, we have to create arrays for storing the temporary indicator values. Okay, so when we call the copy buffer function, we basically need an arrays that we will use inside those functions. So let's create RSI array and stochastic array. Perfect. So now let's just create our for loop. So static integer I is equal to 0 for I lower than arrays total, and I is increased by each iteration. Let's first calculate the shift. Okay, so integer shift is equal to rates total minus I. And now let's call the copy buffer function. So copy buffer function for RSI handle. Buffer number is 0, starting position is shift, and we want to access one value, and we want to store this one value inside RSI array. And then we can do RSI line at position I is equal to RSI array at position 0. Perfect. So this is very simple stuff. So now we have to make now for stochastic there are basically 2 lines. Therefore, I don't remember. Let's just check. So I don't remember if the buffer of 0 is for main or signal. So what I will just do is that I will just open my data window and I will check for myself. So first of all, let me delete the MACD because we won't be using MACD. And now this is basically stochastic. Okay, so here, yeah, so I guess 0 is for the main and 1 is for the signal. So this is signal, this is main. Yeah, one more thing. Let me just style dot. Okay, so and let me just create one more array here, and this array will be for signal. Okay. So yeah, so let's just do the same thing. So copy buffer stochastic handle. Now buffer number is 0, so this is for the main line. Starting position is shift, count is 1, and we will store this into stochastic array main. And then let's just do the same thing. So stochastic handle buffer number 1, shift 1, and stochastic array signal. Perfect. And now the last step, we just have to do this. So stochastic main buffer at position I is equal to stochastic array main at position I, and let's just copy the last one right here. So I is equal to stochastic signal array at position I. So this should be it, I guess. This should basically combine these 2 indicators into one. So yep, let's check it. So I will minimize these like this. I will close data window and indicators YouTube. And now how did I call this? RSI stochastic, like this. And it doesn't update. So this doesn't necessarily mean that there's an error. Let me test this to see if there's an error in the code, but RSI stochastic. So let's just, let's just test this out. There's an error. RSI stochastic 8546. So it's right here. Yeah. This is at position 0, and this is also at position 0. And now it combines nicely. Perfect. So this is basically what we have. And if we check, like, what we can do now is that, like, we can compare the indicator to these 2 separate indicators, because now basically if you can just imagine that you would basically, for example, plot RSI on top of the stochastic, does it look like this or not? And well, you can see that the scaling is a little bit out of order. So basically these highs, they are more aggressive, let's say. Yeah, so they are not as smooth as they are here, but that's just because of the scaling. Yeah, because the RSI has a scale 100 to 0 as the stochastic does, but basically the difference is that stochastic tends to have higher and lower values then so stochastic tends to have higher and lower values. So basically if we check it, you can see that RSI tends to stay between these let's say 30 and 70 or 80 most of the time. But stochastic, when we check it, it's like 90 and 10. So that's the scaling issue. But besides that, this seems solid to me because the curve of the line looks the same. So I guess this is success. Perfect. So what can we do now? So this was very simple, very, very simple. And if you want to, for example, do this with another, or if you want to like add up 3 indicators to one chart, you can, but you just have to make sure that they are scaled properly. So what we can do now, just to make this tutorial a little bit more interesting, is to, for example, well, I think I will leave this for the future video. So what my idea was that I would, for example, do... let's do it now. I think we can do it now. So what I will do now is that I will, for example, transform this indicator, and I will add the MACD feature, let's say. So what's MACD feature? So MACD, I mean the indicator MACD is just, it basically shows you the distance between 2 moving averages. And that's basically what the MACD does, okay? So basically if you add moving average here, okay, so this is not the best moving average because it's 555, but let's do, for example, 200. So basically what MACD does is that it only shows you the distance between these 2 moving averages, and that's all. So I will do the same thing for this indicator. So I will add an histogram somewhere here below that will basically show you the distance between the RSI and stochastic. Yeah, let's do that. It will be fun, it will be easy, and yeah, I guess why not. So I hope I will succeed because I haven't done histograms in a long time, because I don't do indicators anymore. I just focus on expert advisors. But let's try it, and if I don't succeed, it will be nothing new, let's say. So buffers 4, plots 4, because we'll be adding one more plot, and therefore we have to increase both of these by 1. So now let's create the property for that histogram. So let's call this, let's just change this to 4. And now, so this is MACD, moving average convergence, or like I will leave MACD in here. It's not exactly the MACD because it's not moving average convergence divergence, but good enough. And now this is not draw line, but this is draw. And now I don't remember what's the difference between histogram 1 and histogram 2. Let me just Google this very fast. So let's just do a little bit. MQL5 histogram indicator. Okay, so I just need to make sure that I know what I'm doing. Okay, so this is basically the normal histogram, and for normal histogram we need 1 buffer, 1 plot. Okay, so that's histogram buffer. That's also okay. And okay, so we should be okay. If not, I will deal with that later. So let's just create a new buffer for this, so make the buffer. And let's just add one line of this for that new buffer. So 3, make the buffer indicator data. Perfect. And let me just also change the color to silver. Let's try silver and we'll see how this goes. Okay, so now basically the well, what I also have to do is that I have to change the scale to a negative 100, because if you think about it, yeah, ignore this because yeah, I will change that later. But basically, if you think about this, if I take this line and subtract this line from it, I have a positive number. But if I take this line at this point and subtract this from the line, I have negative numbers. So it basically will go to negative values as well. So that's why I changed this minimum. Yeah, and now the only thing I have to do is that I have to say make the buffer I is equal to and now it's up to you basically which line will be subtracted from which, but I will do RSI line buffer at position I minus the stochastic, and now it's also up to if you use main or signal. I will use main line like this, and this is not what I wanted at all. Perfect. So I did something horrible in my code. So let's just try to RSI moving average now. Okay, and it seems like that's perfect. So where is the issue here? So draw histogram. Okay, so let's just check this. So the color from 0 to a specified value. Values are taken. Yeah, line. Okay. Well, I don't see the error because the number of buffers required for plotting the draw histogram is 1. So this is okay. It draws the histogram basically starting at 0, which is what we have here. So this is 0. And it draws the... Oh, did I... Let me do this on a new chart just to be sure what I have so far. What the fuck is this? Oh my god, what's this? Okay, so it seems like I fucked up with this one. RSI line back. Oh yeah. This could be it. So let me just, yeah, sorry for this, but yeah, so now it's perfect. It's not visible. So let me just change this. So what color could be? So let's do, I hope that I can increase the width, and I will just change this to red. And since we are not using signal anymore, I will change the signal to silver. Yeah. So by doing this should be visible. And let me just, I have to I have to redeploy the indicator. And now it looks nice. Well, not nice, but it looks as it should look. Okay, so now we can do also, we can just increase these values now I'm just putting or inputting here random values, so don't yeah. So now I just want to check if this is okay, and it is, because yeah, now this is our main line, this is our RSI line, and then it basically takes this line and it subtracts the RSI line from it. So, and then basically the distance is shown as this histogram. So this is perfect. This is what I wanted. So let me just check how long this video is. 25 minutes. This is too short. So yeah, so this is just like me trying out different things with these indicators. So okay, so yeah, and it works basically as your. Do you know what we can also try to do? We can, well, I'm not sure how this will look visually. Yeah, this might be just horrible visually, and it might not be nice at all, because the issue with MT5 is that when you are creating your indicators or objects, if you are not using any additional libraries, the issue with objects is that they can't be transparent. So for example, if you want to plot two objects upon each other and you want to make them transparent so you can basically see through them, it's not, well, it's possible, but it's not that nice in MT5. But now I can just do the same thing for the RSI and the signal line. Okay, so now I will just add one more buffer and one more plot. So I will do MACD for signal line. So MACD S. So 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. And now let's do color maroon, which is like more dark red color. Let's change this to 2. This can be 3. Let's add signal MACD buffer. Let's add indexing here. Signal, come on, MACD buffer. And this should be okay. And now let's just do the same thing as we did right here. The only thing different is that this is main buffer and I want to use signal buffer. So now basically we should end up with two histograms, as you can see here, that are plotted upon each other, but as I said, it's just not nice. And the reason for that is, well, let me fix this for you, because there's one very simple fix, and I should have thought of this earlier. So if I basically span this out to -200, and then I add a constant value to this, which is -100, then basically I will have two histograms below each other that will basically show me what I want to see. So this is like a very simple fix for this, and I like the idea. So RSI stochastic. Or is it not? Well, it should work, right? Let me just test this. So 100, and I think I can input here the same values. Okay. Oh, yeah. Because the histogram plots from 0, so even if I basically span out the chart, let's say, or the indicator window, it will still start at 0. So let me just try one thing, because there has to be difference between histogram 1 and histogram 2. So I guess histogram 2 doesn't start at 0 and you need two buffers. Yeah, so that's what I thought. So yeah, this is a perfect video because we will basically explore a lot of new things here. So now I'm just adding the second array or the buffer, and buffers is 6, plots is 5. So buffer 1. Okay, this is perfect. This is perfect for this video because we'll basically test out all of the different things that MQL5 can offer us. So, well, I guess this should be 2 and signal make the buffer 1 because this is starting value should be negative 100, I guess. Let's just, yeah, and this is what I wanted. Perfect. This is perfect. So now basically what we see, if I span this out once again, here you have your RSI, this is stochastic mainline, stochastic signal line. This is the difference between RSI and stochastic mainline, and this is the difference between RSI and stochastic signal line. So, yeah. And now we will do one last thing. Okay. So now a very nice thing that we can do here is to create a histogram that will show you the difference between this histogram and this histogram. So now we will basically put all of these things together. And just one second. And yeah, so now there will be one last final histogram that will show you the difference between these two histograms. Just for fun, I guess. Yeah, so now we have to do the same thing just one more time. So now we add 2 more buffers, so it's 8. We add 1 more plot, so it's so it's 6. And we have to span out the window a little bit more, so it's negative 300. Now I take this, I paste it here, and I just change this to 6, and let's say final MACD, and let's say color gold. Let's try gold. I hope it will be visible on your screens. If not, I'm sorry. But yeah, so now what we can do here is that you have final MACD buffer 1 and final MACD buffer 2, and you compile these, and now is the same thing as we did right here, right? Because we are not doing anything new, we are just, yeah, so 1 to go here. So now create the first final MACD buffer 1, I is equal to negative 200 because that's our starting point. Then you have final MACD buffer this, and now the order is up to you as well, but it will be signal MACD buffer I, and I will start with the main one. So MACD buffer position I minus this thing. So now so what did I do wrong here? What did I do wrong here? Okay, so obviously I'm not as good as I thought I am, because this is not nice. So let's just reiterate here and let's check basically what's happening. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 final MACD, the histogram 2, color gold style, this is okay. Final MACD buffer 1 and 2. I'm not doing anything new here. So final MACD buffer 2. Yeah, I guess I think the issue here, let's just plot this out for now and I will explain the issue. Let's just do something like this for now. And let me explain what's happening here. Okay, so the issue, so now it looks nice. So the issue is that if I take this value and I subtract this value from it, there's basically this distance that I added. So I have to, or at least I think what I have to do is that I have to add 100 to this. Because otherwise, okay, so why does it look like this? I thought that this will be like a very easy thing to do, but obviously it's not. Okay, so let me try one more thing. So the distance or the area of MACD buffer is MACD buffer at position I minus 0. So this is the area for MACD buffer, and then we take this area and we do minus, and now the stochastic area or signal MACD buffer I minus the signal MACD buffer to I. So let's try this. So now it looks a little bit more better. Minus 200. Perfect. Perfect. So this is what I like to see here. So let's just span this out one more time. So 100, 100, 100, and 100. And now this is perfect. Okay, so we did everything we could basically. So I showed you how to firstly combine two indicators into one, and then we created histograms from the distance between the plots of these indicators, and then we created final histogram from the difference of both of those previous histograms. Yeah, so this is like the final histogram. Yeah, so that's that. And here we are basically adding up like these values, and here we, well, the nice thing here is that we catch the change of the trend, let's say, very early here, because yeah, this is nice. This is very nice. Well, now I would be interested in knowing like how precise is this, because it should basically in theory show you an uptrend or downtrend. Yeah, right. So, or the other way around, it's probably, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, this is it for this video. I won't make it any longer. And yeah, so thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.